Hi, welcome back to my makeup tour collection series of videos. This is going to be the fifth and final installment. We're going to go through all of my palettes. There'll be eyeshadows, there'll be face and all kinds of palettes in here. If you do want to see my Pat McGrath palettes, those are all in my first video because I don't keep them in this drawer. And this drawer is like all of my palettes. There could be some potential decluttering in it, but that is not the purpose of this video. It is just to go through my collection to make sure I still want to keep everything in it, but also just like take a look, take inventory, just take stock of what I have so I can hopefully get some better use. I explain really what I'm doing in my first video in this collection if you want to know more about that. My name is Tom. I have long wool socks on and I'm sitting on the floor. These are eyeshadow stains. So I'm sorry. Stuff happens. As you can see, this is the first time I have stuff visible before we get into the drawer because I don't keep these. Well, one is new and then two of them I frequently use, so they stay in one place. So let's get started. This is, come on camera. Wow, talk about smudging grossness. This is from Victoria Beckham. This is the Tweed Smoky Eye Brick. It looks like this. This is brand new to my, I'm going to hold them this way and that should, nope, that did not help with the lighting. This is brand new to my collection. I used it once. I have some thoughts going. I will let you know in a future video. I want to do a review on this. I know that these have been out for a while, but I think Luxe makeup can't be put under scrutiny enough to talk about it and the experience, but small little guy, which I did not realize. In here, this is an Adept case, which is an amazing case. All of my singles, well, a lot of my singles and stuff are floating around here, but I mostly have this to house my Cliona shadows. So we'll start with this side. This is some of the shades in the Love palette from Natasha Denona. I depotted my favorite and gave the shades I didn't want to a friend. Again, this is the Sunset palette depotted, and then the shades I didn't really care for got passed along. These are two Colored Rain single shadows, and those are two Coastal Scent shadows. And then these are all Viseart shadows except for these two. Those two came from a palette I tried to depot, and those are the stains that are on my floor. These two guys. And then let's go to the more important side, the side a lot of you have come here for. So these are my Cliona shadows. I am trying to complete the stained glass collection. So these are all kind of like a mishmash of them. I have these ones over here. These are like the iridescent glitters. Or no, are these the multi-chrome? I don't know. These are some kind of glitters from them. And then over here, there's like a mishmash of finishes. Some of them are glitters. Some of them are multi-chromes. I always kind of have to swatch them to see how they're going to look before I put them on my eye anyway. The only thing that I can say about these, I love these shadows. Like, they're so stunning. And I used to be like just a Pat McGrath little bitch, but I have come into really liking these. These are more expensive than Pat McGrath shadows. These are not cheap. They do some sales throughout the year, so I would keep your eyes peeled for them, and I would really focus on the shades that you want. I think they're all stunning. I'm going to get a lot of use out of all of these. As you can see, some of them already have some dips in them from me just like using them already. So I really love these, and I'm excited to get more use out of them, and I keep these on the top on my vanity at all times. Wow, fingerprints. And then one more before we open the bottom drawer. This is the, oh my God, what are these called? Okay, this is the Lunatic Cosmetic Labs contour palette. I love this thing to death. These are true contours. And then we don't see grays like this in contours, especially someone who's on the fairer and cooler side. Most of the things that I end up getting look like a bronzer on me. So like a bronzer contour, which is not always the vibe I'm going for. These more feel like a true contour, as you can see, with this dirty ring around them. I have got much use out of these two shades specifically, but I also love these blushes, and these bronzers are really nice too. I just don't think of this palette for bronzers. I'm mostly like coming here for these two. And I really do love the blushes too. This palette really made me fall in love and appreciate good complexion products, and really helped me like start expanding my horizons with that. So I appreciate that forever. But These two contour shades are just, whew, they're really where it's at for me, and I love them. These are really great setting powders. This one's more of like a banana one, but it's very fair. And then this one is more of a, like translucent one. Also does some really good work brightening the under eyes. So yeah, I'll probably never get around to using these two shades. This one's a really good bronzer for me, but I will use all of those blushes. It'll just take some time. Oh my gosh. So I'm going to start with 3 things that are brand new to my collection. This is the quad that was released this year from Pat McGrath. This is the Celestial Divinity Luxe Quads at Interstellar Icon. This is the blue one. And the only reason this is in this drawer is because I didn't forgot to put it with my other Pat McGrath stuff. This packaging is different than the ones that were released last year. They're not as, luxe feeling. I got this in gratis. That's what this G is from. So very beautiful. Excited to play with it. Can't wait to touch it. I haven't used this at all, so I'm excited to get my fingers and brushes in there. This is another piece of gratis that I haven't gotten to play with. Basically, I don't know if all Sephora's do this, but we could earn gratis, and I recently left Sephora, so I cashed in all of my gratis stuff to get stuff. But this is the Mario's Metals palette. Master Metals palette. And I just really want to play with this and get my hands in there. I'm very excited about this shade over here to play with, and then also this blue shade over here. Also, he came out with his own mixing medium. It has the literal same ingredients as this Mayron mixing oil medium. And this was $14 for this big guy, and his is $14 for the little guy. So just think about it. This is the Violet Voss Vibes palette. I think this has been discontinued by the brand, but it is their Brights palette. I'm excited to get some use out of this and play with this. Oh, yes. This is the Too Faced Cocoa Contour palette, and it is a contour palette. Like I said, these are gonna pull way warm on me. Even this one, which doesn't look very warm or have any warmth to it at all, it's gonna pull warm on me. I really don't love the fact that this smells like something, and I know I could keep it open to air it. Hi, there's me. That's my face. Wow. Try to air it out, and I have only used this one time. So this will very likely get out of my collection. I just want to use it a couple more times. I want to use this a couple more times before I really get rid of it. But it's definitely something that's, this is definitely something that's on the chopping block. This is the Colored Rain Queen of Hearts palette. And there is no more divine palette than this one. I don't often use it though, which is a fucking shame. This palette is so gorgeous. It performs so well, and I will never regret buying this. This is so stunning. That does come with an outer packaging that a lot of people keep, but I just can't. We're not keeping packaging. That's not taking up space in my place. Also, it's makeup. Stop. We don't need to take it that preciously or seriously. But honestly, Colored Rain, this is really stunning. I have not heard such great things about the Juicy Boost palette, which is upsetting because I would love a Brights palette from them. But this takes the place of my Modern Renaissance. This is it. This is really it. This is it. If you want a warm palette, I don't know. This is really it. I don't know. It's so good. This is the new nudes by Huda Beauty. And when I tell you that I couldn't understand why people called this the new nudes, and then I saw the new in here days ago, actual days ago, I thought, okay, but this is what it looks like on the inside. I'm sure if you have seen this palette before. So, I mean, people can make some complaints. You don't have to use the glitters. They are there, for your consumption. I wish more people would complain about this. This is supposed to be a cream primer. It's a cream product in here, and it's garbage, mama. Just you could have put another eyeshadow there. So I love this palette, and I'm not a fan of Huda. I got this in gratis, so I did not pay for this, and I probably wouldn't have, I don't buy Huda stuff, but this palette is gorgeous, and I think that all of these shades really work very well together. It's very easy to use. It's kind of a no-brainer. You can stay over here and go a little bit lighter or go a little bit deeper. If you have a deeper complexion, I'm not sure that this would really work for you because it doesn't get too deep. But these shimmers, I was like very iffy about the way they look. It looks like they almost have like mold in them, but no, they're just like marbled. They are so pretty. Like, they are so pretty. Wow, that was like a terrible swatch. I live in my room's in my basement. There you go. That's a little bit better of a deal of what they look like. But these are so pretty. This whole thing's so pretty. Anyway, as I was saying, my bedroom's in the basement of my house, and we live, I live in Pittsburgh, so it's cold, and so my room gets very cold in the wintertime. So sometimes like creamy products like this take a second for me to heat up with my finger to start getting like good use out of. This is the Natasha Denona Tan palette. So this one is not the one that came out with the bronze palette. This is the one that came out before. Love the highlights, love the cream. This is a little bit too deep for me. Like I can't really use that. I've only used this shade once, but I have used the highlights multiple times. I love these little guys. I really like them. Well, I like the two that I have. I've swatched the other two and they're like not my jam, but this one's really cute and I really like these highlights. Oh, on a summer's day. Oh, blinding, gorgeous. This is the Natasha Denona Bloom palette. This was the first in this type of packaging. I love this. There's some good dents going on in those creams. You can see that I have loved it. Love this, love this. This is like a blush topper and it just really does some amazing work. It just does some amazing work on your face. Hi, love this. People were so iffy about this, but I saw it and I knew it had to come up with me. This might have been one of my, I don't know if it was my first, but it was like one of the Natasha Denona products that I own that like made me say Natasha Denona is for me. The blush is a little bit deep, but you have to really want to commit to this blush if you're gonna do a look with it, especially as fair as I am. I do, and I love it. And oh my God, my favorite thing to do with this palette is on the inner corner of your eye is like this, topped with this, topped with that, topped with that. And it gives you like this neon, like, it's just, oh, it's so cool. I love doing that. And it's just like, you can have just like a beautiful complexion on and that's the statement. Okay, this is the Natasha Denona Zendo palette. I have not touched this. This was a panic buy at one of my last days at Sephora, trying to swoop in with that discount a couple more times. This is so pretty, and I am gonna actually put this on my desk so I remember to use it because those little guys can get lost in your collection. This is the mini retro. If we could do a like 15 pan palette of either of these, Natasha, that would be a good call. So thank you for listening. This is stunning. This is gorgeous. I bought this during lockdown. I remember it coming to my house. It was like the first makeup I bought after a few months because I was trying to really not, buy makeup and things I didn't need whenever we were in like a heavy quarantine. But oh, it's so pretty. I just love this like color story with the pinks and the greens. They look so good together. This old friend. I need to work it into my drawer with the complexion products, with my highlights and stuff, because this, now it looks really boring, but these wear so beautifully on the face. This is the Twinkle palette 2. And this appears sometimes and disappears other times. These two shades, my God. The brand rep from Tarte that we had was wearing this on her face, and like I saw her from across the store and I was like, what is this highlight? And she was like, it is this guy. And I was like, I cannot believe. And she was like, me either. It's so pretty. And then I probably won't get much use out of those. This one maybe when I'm tan, but like that one I'm probably never gonna get away with. But this is so pretty. The only thing I don't really love about it is like they do have like a distinct vanilla scent to them, but like those are so pretty. Ugh. Okay, this is the Sugar Pill Capsule 1. I got really stoked that Sugar Pill was going to start doing palettes. And this is like cool. The packaging is obviously like very cool. There's nothing really not like this. I don't mind that the pans are different sizes either. Like it takes a like how many of us are really hitting pan on eyeshadows in general, especially when you have a collection like mine. Um, I like the idea of this, but this color story is a little bit maddening to use when you sit down and play with it. And every time I like do play with this, I get a little bit overwhelmed. And I am someone who really does love color, but like there's not a lot of balance happening here. And like to do a look with just this is a little bit much because you are very much committed to the color. And I might be overthinking it just a little bit. But I really do love this blush. That's probably the thing I've used the most out of this. And I would like to use it more. I like Sugar Pills shadows, so it's not like I don't like this, but it's definitely not something that I'm going to reach for that often because the color story is a little bit overwhelming to me. My old friend. I love this. This is the Subculture from ABH. I think I have the original formula and I really fucking like it. I don't know what everyone's problem is. I'm so mad that everyone shat on this palette because we stopped getting a lot of color stories like this, at least in major brands like weren't taking risks like this after the downfall of this palette. One, if I don't, maybe I don't have the original formula, but like, yeah, you get some dusty, you get some musty, you get some kickback, but all of these shadows perform really well. I never really had the issue of blending. You can go more yellow, you can go more orange, you can go mod, you can go grunge. I really do think the only thing that this palette is missing is like a truer red than this, just some more red-ish tones, but I love this palette. Anastasia, I don't even want them, like, they should bring this back. I think that if this had launched later, even with the formula it has had, that it would never have been, it would have took off and it would have really been a thing. And I think it would have been a staple because this palette is cool. And this is like the last time, with a few exceptions, that Anastasia did something very cool. So this is the Park Ave Princess contour palette. So this is like, if I want to do a bronzer, this is what I'm going for. Like, of course, like people are gonna be like, isn't that cool enough for you? No, it's not. It still pulls a little bit warm. I wanted this palette when it first launched so bad, and then it relaunched. They did like a re-release. I don't know if they just had extras, I don't know, but it came back into stock at Sephora. It like was in stores. It was a Black Friday thing. It was one of those things. I very rarely have makeup regrets. Like if something was limited edition and I didn't buy it, if I didn't buy it, I normally very rarely, I don't feel any kind of way about it. But this was something that I felt like I needed in my collection. The packaging is like really stunning. It just feels right in my collection. But also this is going to be a beautiful complexion product for me in the summertime when I'm feeling a little bit warm, feeling a little bit spicy. And as I said, like the Twinkle palette, I just really like Tarte's powder. If Tarte moved into like a complexion only situation, it was just really releasing like divine like stuff like this, like bronzers, contours, I'd be very into that. I'd be very into that because they seem very confused. So Tarte, if you're listening, stop with the eyeshadow palettes because you're not good at it. I'm not speaking to the formula, but they don't release anything exciting. So maybe we just be the best at this, you know? Keep on rolling. This is the Melt Muerte palette. I don't have the companion palette, which is upsetting. It was my intention to eventually get it. And I guess I didn't realize that these were a limited edition. One, outer packaging, so stunning. Inside, so stunning. I feel like brands are afraid to go this dark, and Melt wasn't. I don't like actually super love the Melt formula, but I can make all of this work. This is just so cool. This is just so cool. This is so cool. So like the Subculture, like this is cool. Like this is cool. Like let's do more of this. Let's experiment more and like really push it. I do actually really like the shimmer formula that Melt has. It's just the mattes. I think because they choose such bold colors and that sometimes they get a little bit hard to work with. But this is so stunning. If any of my friends are watching and they have the other half of this and they don't want it anymore, I would love to have it because I love that color story too. I just only had enough money for one and I went with this one. Okay, this is newer to my collection. This is Natasha Denona Diamond and Blush palette, and I bought this after I had already had the other two products. This isn't quite the same. However, I do enjoy it. I do need to give it more of like a fair run in usage. The only thing I really don't like is this, which is ironic because it's like the sparkliest shade, and I'm a very sparkly person. But I do like this, and I like this. The only thing is, like, I don't know that these all go together. And then she has the one that has like the green cream product in it, and I have a green highlighter, so I'm like not opposed to having a green makeup product for my face. But like, I don't know. I like this. I don't love this like I like the bloom and the tan. This is the Sugar Pill Capsule 2 collection, and this is my preferred of the two, which is funny because this is not as colorful, but this side is like very user friendly, and then you got some pops of like sun going on over here, and this makes like a lot more sense visually and color story wise for me. Like I can do things with this in one palette, and like that's a very pretty blush, has a nice little sheen to it. This blue is stunning. It looked so good on my eyes when I've worn it before. The green is all right, and I like this mustard color. Still haven't used either of them enough to like have an opinion, but again, I want to work through my collection and use everything and like really try to get through some stuff and get some stuff out of my collection and into better hands if they stopped working. Whew, for me, I didn't even see this guy. This is the mini Leela from Natasha Denona. And I tried to depot this. So her bigger palettes, you can just kind of like pop things out. But these ones are definitely glued in. Like I have a powerful magnet that I'll just like run over. And I just want this. It's all fine. But I find that like I can really only do like one look with it. Or it's like just those three, or like, you know, like you're very much doing the same thing. Not to say that the other two are more inventive, but when your only choice is like blue, purple, it's a little bit overwhelming and not always what I want. I don't dislike it enough to get rid of it, but again, I don't know. This is like the only thing that I would actually consider decluttering right now. This is my Sugar Pill Pro-Pan palette. It's a Slay Fire sticker, but also I have a Sugar Pill sticker on here. Obviously, like this has been some places. This has gone on some trips with me. I love all of these. Well, except for this shade I never use. And I wanted it because I thought it was like a cool shade, and then I never used it. Love this white shade. I think it's called Taco. I don't know why. I don't know what they did with Dolly Pop. It concerns me that it went away because I really do love Tokyo. Don't get me wrong. But don't take away Dolly Pop from me. This is my like go-to rainbow situation. Everything in here is so good. I mean, you can tell it's well used, like based on how just much there's just like color everywhere, and like using these as blushes, just like all over the face. I would say like maybe the gray and the green are probably what I get the least usage out of. I will say that like Sugar Pill shadows, bright ones like this, have a little bit of a learning curve. You need to pack them a little bit more than most shadows I use, because I go in very light with shadows to blend them easier. But you know, with colors, sometimes you do a little bit of packing. And you know what? Like now that I'm looking at it, maybe I'll use this and the Violet Voss one, and then I guess make a decision on which ones that I want to keep. I'm very sure it's probably going to be this, but you know, you never know. This is the Kimchi Chic Beauty Calographic Toppers. And these are what these look like. They're topper shadows. These are all very beautiful, like this beautiful baked formula. I like to use them as like highlight toppers as opposed to like on the eyes, because they do have just like a pretty, they're just pretty, like especially like this one. Ooh. And like, you know, these are all very pretty. I don't know that these are like a thing that I need in my collection, especially with the Cleona shadows that I have. Like, I think that these are a little bit moot, but I really did like them. I didn't use them too much, but I did enjoy them. Of the Kimchi Chic products that I did purchase and try out, I would say that this one's like a better of the purchases that I made from them. But I actually think I'm going to declutter this one. while we're talking about it. Staying on Kimchi Chic because we're there. This is the Drama Queen highlighter palette, and I saw some people that didn't like this, and I don't understand why. I think these highlights are stunning. Like these neutral ones over here are very, very pretty, and then you have like the fun highlights over here. This is probably the only one that I would never like think to use, but it could definitely like push my boundaries. Also if I'm gonna go like yellow gold, I'm gonna pick Trophy Wife. But this is a beautiful blush topper if you're using like a pinky blush. It looks really good. This one, like a lot of mint highlighters, you only get a hint of the mint and then you get some, but these two are very pretty. I have so much stuff on my hands, but yeah, these are so pretty. These look so good. And also like that's like a finger application. They obviously don't have that much pigment whenever you're diffusing them out on the face. So I really like this. This one's staying. What's this? Oh, what's this? This is my Krylon. This is the Krylon Aqua Color palette. 18 colors. This is the basic one. This is for whenever I want to have some fun, do some rainbow, feel some inspiration. This is why that Tarte thing was filled with water. This is like how I activate it. This is clearly mine and I can treat it however I want, but like this is fun to dip into, Halloween, but not even Halloween. I do it like whenever I want. They do smell like not weird, not bad, but they always have that smell. There's just like a specific smell to these that is like takes me to Chicago. Because my friend bought hers in Chicago. I bought mine later, but I really liked what she started doing with it. And I was like, well, I want that. So I had to buy my own. But I remember us getting ready for the Marina concert that we were going to. And like this smell was kind of like filling the room. And that's kind of where it takes me. So this is like very special, even though that this particular palette wasn't part of it, but it takes me to a very special place. All right, this is another Melt palette. This is the Radioactive palette. And you would think looking at this that this is something that I would very much be into. I love color. However, I don't know that I love these. I really don't. And every time I use these to do something colorful, I feel like I'm disappointed. Whenever this was a stack, I wanted this shade so bad. But the formula is like pretty dry and like crusty. And this palette isn't old. And I thought these were matte shades, but they're definitely like there's some shimmer and like glitter to them. And really these are like the 3 shades I want from this palette, like the rest of whatever, but like these were the real 3 shades that I really wanted to like do something with. And this is one that like another one, it's like kind of up on the chopping block for it's not guaranteed to be in my collection, which is very upsetting because the packaging is really pretty. My little sweet angel. This is my Viseart Petite Pro Soleil, and this guy I love. Oh my god. And just like look at this. Like, oh my god, and like this shade. And this yellow. Oh my god. This is just like the cutest little perfect little like I don't know how else to describe it, but like this palette is so cute and like literally literal what did I just say? What was that word that just came out my mouth? I really love this little cute little thing. Viseart shadows are the tits, to be quite honest. And I highly recommend if you are looking to start with makeup to do one of them, probably do a more neutral one than this, but to do a Viseart little palette like these, because they're a little bit more affordable than their big palettes. But I find that Viseart shadows are perfect for blending. When you're not the best at blending, these kind of do the work for you. Not so much the colorful ones, because I think color takes some practice and getting used to. And that's just like a practice thing. But Viseart shadows are just easy to blend. They're not super pigmented. They're not overwhelming. This is the Jackie Aina Anastasia Beverly Hills palette, and everything about this is perfection. Every look I've done with this has been so stunning. I haven't even gotten to all the shades yet because this is actually relatively new to my collection. I bought it on sale from Anastasia's website. And this is my favorite thing they've done since the Subculture palette. Like, this is what speaks to me. Jackie did a really great job with selection. It is cruel what Anastasia Beverly Hills did, like just kind of skipped right over this palette, but like from the outer packaging, which is great, it's like not that velvet, which sucks. I hate that velvet stuff on the other ones. And then you get just like, this is so pretty. The shade and the shade And all of these shades are very much my speed and speak to me in a beautiful way. So this is the Mothership Mega from Pat McGrath. And I have to be careful when opening this because one of the shades broke in shipping, but I did repress it. It's this guy down here. It's like the only one that's like super used. I've only used this a handful of times and I really do like it. It's just big, and for whatever reason, big palettes end up at the bottom of the drawer, right? And then I just like forget about them. And I really did like the quality. I didn't feel like these were any different than the big palettes. So I thought it was nice that she did this. Also, the shimmers are like the most special part of the Pat McGrath palettes. So I think it was smart to not do too many mattes. The mattes that are provided would work with all of the shades in here, unless you wanted to do some other mattes. I think that like this is kind of just fine. But this is like my favorite shade, which is funny because it's the one that came broke. And like it would have been different if like my whole palette came broken, but like it was still mostly intact. It just like needed repress. Love that shade. Just like kind of like I do need to give this a little bit more love than it has received. Like my other Pat McGrath palettes have gotten a lot more love than this. What a moment to end on. This is the Tati Beauty palette, and I'm not gonna lie, I love this. I particularly like this like black row. Everything about this really speaks to me, and then this orange row. I don't actually know the names. I don't think that this is like a necessary palette, and like obviously everyone feels the way they feel about the people involved. So like you might feel some kind of way about Tati. I think I do too at this point, but I think this palette is just lovely. It's very cool. Like I like this palette, okay? And I like I actually didn't think I would like the sequin row as much as I do, but also like I don't think people talk about how like this is actually like a duochrome over here, in the way lights hit, and like the glitters are fine. I know that not everyone like loves the glitter, and like I am trying to move to just using biodegradable glitters, but I do have some in my collection and I'm going to use them because they are in my collection. I particularly like this glitter because there are some like fun pops of green in there. So I do need to use this more too. Like as you can see, like this is why I'm going through my collection. So I definitely want to give this a little bit more attention too. All right, so that kind of wraps up the series. I'm going to let you watch me put all of this stuff back. I'm gonna put this stuff back. I'm gonna try to put the complexion products back up where I like would. I'm just gonna try to put things back in a way that makes more sense because I did make some more room in my complexion drawer, so I might be able to get a couple more things that will make more sense up here. So that's what I'm gonna try to do. So I was able to move my Natasha Denona complexion stuff up here, which is good. But I'm still gonna have complexion stuff down here. So I might have to take a long, hard look at my drawers and kind of reorganize them. Thank you so much if you've been on this journey. Please subscribe if you like my voice and my content. Some more makeup content is coming your way. That's like real makeup content. That's not just me reorganizing my drawers. If you want to hear more from me, I have a podcast with my friend Tiffany called It Bears Repeating, and that's linked in the description box below. We're talking about Britney Spears right now, which is a lot of fun. We talked about framing Britney Spears. There's going to be a YouTube version of it as well. It's just taking me a lot longer to edit than I thought it was going to. You can catch me on Instagram at HomeMessTom. That's linked in the description box below as well. And I think that is it. Thank you so much for watching. Please consider subscribing. Thank you. Okay, wow, that was a lot, but we did it. Okay, bye.